This week on SV Lynx. Welcome to this week's SV Lynx video. Remember last week we got started on those daggerboard casings, and this week we are going to get more work done on them with strip planking, and we're going to get some other tasks done as well.
Yeah, we hope to finish that strip planking, but we'll see how it goes. Now, I mentioned in last week's video that we would have a list of all the remaining tasks. And so I finished the list now, and then I had Excel sum it up for me. And oddly enough, it came to an exact, even 100. And that wasn't my plan. I just listed everything. 100 tasks to get done this year. All right, well, not this year. In the next 12 months starting October. So, not a calendar year. But we're going to get started on the first item on that list this week, getting those daggerboard casings finished. And at the end of the video, I'm going to talk about the list and show it to you. So, stick around for that, and we'll see you over at the lot. So we faired the mullions up here, but we didn't fair the bottom where it's tabbed here, so we're going to take care of that right now. On to the next job. Now, this morning what we were going to do is work on the other half of the daggerboard casing. Unfortunately, the dew got on that, so we have to wait for it to dry for a bit. That's why we decided instead to come up and fair this. But while I'm here, I just wanted to just kind of fix a viewer question here. Somebody was arguing against us putting a nav station facing forward here, because on their boats they noticed they really don't use it that much. And this is where our forward-facing nav station is. The thing is if you'll notice here, I'm ducking because I can't stand. In fact, I have to get, let me turn the camera a little bit. I have to get all the way to here before I can stand. So that means that this 5 feet is no good for anything that you would want to do standing up, at least for me, and this is technically my and the Admiral's boat. So if I don't put a forward-facing nav station here, I have to put some other seating area because I can't stand. So what other seating area could you put there? I could put a table, but I've got 2 tables already, one over there and the big one over there. Why would I want yet a 3rd table? And so what other seating area can you put? Well, a nav station. And the nav station in our case is great for looking forward for if it's really, really bad weather and you'd want to be inside here in the nice air-conditioned or heated saloon. And you can sit here and look right out the window forward. You can do video editing with dual monitors, a desk for doing paperwork, and down in the hull, since they're performance holes, there's really no room down there to put a desk or something. Now you could sit at the table and do some of that paperwork and stuff, but not video editing if you want separate monitors and such. So since we have to put a seating area anyway, why not have a nav station is sort of what I get to on this. And then there's one more thing I wanted to mention. There's a jib, self-tacking jib track that runs about here all the way down. And that's going to bring the ceiling down even more, because it comes below here to be all the bolts and everything, reinforcements, all that. So it's going to cut the ceiling height down even more over here than it currently is. So we really can't have a standing area over here. So, nav station. I'll give a little bit of a sand to our super build paint here. We don't need much, just a little. And then we can get our 442 primer on next. All right, so all we're doing is right now is roughing up the surface for the next coat, and if there was any little high spots or something, just knocking those off. Not trying to make this look great. It's just, again, we need to prepare it so the other paint will stick. So we're following up our 2 coats of Super Build with 2 coats of 442 finish primer. Okay, working on the B side of the Daggerboard number 1. I'm not sure if it's port or starboard yet, but Daggerboard number 1, B side of the casing. And we've got our jig all set up here, just like we did on the first side. We get to reuse the same jig because it just bends over the, even if it was slightly different, which it shouldn't be, it'll just bend to that with the kerfs in the board. Got our plastic down, got all of our boards cleaned up and ready to go. Brian's mixing up some thickened epoxy, and we'll get this thing put together. The only thing we can't do right now is put the top board on, because we have to let it set up for, we can take clamps off to put the top board on, but we can get all the ones on the curve here, hopefully. So I think it'll take at least 2 batches of epoxy, and based on the A side. So we'll be mixing in the middle. It's not very warm out right now. It's early in the day, so we're good on the epoxy work. And this will get this first one completed to the point where we can glass both sides of them. But after we glass them, then we have to, marry them up. So there's a lot more work to go here. All right, that edge. All right, our contraption is done. We'll let that baby set up. This morning we're drilling our G10 pieces that go underneath of the sail track up there. And so what we're doing is we're drilling the first hole in one, lining it up, drilling the second hole, putting bolts through, then drilling all the holes in between the two. Then we'll work on the next piece. There's 3 pieces that we've marked the lines up here, so it goes right up a butts against the end, that one. We drill this one, move a bolt over, and then drill the other one, put a bolt in, and they'll drill all the ones between here. We've already done the first 2. We're on the 3rd one right now. And just need a couple braces here.
You
yeah.
mark these?
I did mark the first one, and I will mark the second one where they go in the orientation and all that good stuff. All right, we're going to take the bolt out of the first, the most one towards the starboard side. Let's see if I can hand do it now. All right. So now that the 2 bolts are holding it from the ends, Brian will drill all the holes in between.
And Brian's still up drilling the rest of the holes in the sail track on the last piece, so it's bolted in, just going down the middle. And so meanwhile, I've pulled off the clamps from our latest B-side of board number 1 here. So today what we're going to do is we're going to glue on our bridge piece here. It's already prepped and ready to go. And we got to cut a little insert right here that we're going to put in at the same time. And then we're going to put a thin piece over here extending the end a little bit more. We couldn't put that on to begin with because the bar that we were holding to clamp this down was in the way.
Time to get part B, side B I should say, of board 1 done. Strip planking anyway. And then, like all wonderful things Catamaran, we get to do all this over again for side A and B of board 2. All right, everything's done. We'll let this set up. Then we'll start cleaning up both sides and start glassing both sides. Already just started cleaning up this side of it. Grind off the high stuff, and then we'll have to fill a few low spots, like right here. But first I'll knock down all the highs before we get to the glassing. Good morning. We're doing board B, or board 2, side A, this morning. We've got the other 2 done. Brian's mixing up some epoxy right now. He's nearly done, but a quick thing. I'll ask you a question in case you have a good answer. Now, I'll tell you what the plans call for first. These boards aren't a snug fit inside the case. They're not supposed to be. There's supposed to be a 5mm gap all the way around, but that would make them rattle. So what the plans call for is just to glue on a piece of carpet right at the exit point at the bottom and at the exit point at the top, so that they have something to slide on and keep from rattling. So my question is simply, what type of carpet would be your suggestion? Now, what I'm thinking about doing is putting carpet on the top like the plans call for, but a nylon 2 like wetsuit material at the bottom, because it's going to be submerged all the time. And according to an AI, neoprene lasts many years, especially if it's not bending back and forth, even submerged in salt water. So that should last a while before we have to get it out and put in another piece. Now, one of our viewers has also suggested that we go with something hard like HDPE plastic or Teflon. But my problem there is these boards, as flat as we've tried to get them and as perfect as we've tried to get them, no matter how much we've tried to get them perfect, they're not going to be perfect. There's going to be slight variances as you slide up and down. And the problem with a hard thing like Teflon or something is it would require that board to be perfect to slide through that hard surface. Otherwise, it's going to bind up where you get to the thicker part, or rattle if it's a thinner part. So you really need something that can flex, and that's why Shonig called for carpet. But what kind of carpet? They don't really say that. So I have to figure out what kind of carpet to use, and also if there's a better way to do it, if you know of a better way to do it, and if you want to sing in about the nylon or the carpet or any of those things, and give us your experience, if you have any, with this kind of thing. And we still have plenty of time here to make that decision, so plenty of time for you to give us your information that you might have. So meanwhile, let's go ahead and build side A of board 2. Ready to rumble. Now, if only I had somebody who was mixing epoxy. There he is. Side A. We'll get to side B on Friday, 2 days from now. Today's Wednesday. But Thursday it's going to rain. It's going to rain a lot. It's all thunderstorms because we're having from this heat. But we're going to have to cover up pretty well today, so that tomorrow when the rain hits it doesn't soak everywhere. Mostly just don't want it inside the boat where we have to bail things out. A little more, like 3 mil more. Keep going. All right.
With the strip planking completed on this first casing, we decided it was time to put some fairing compound on to fill any lows, and then after that set up, we had Brian start sanding this and getting it ready for basalt.
Well, now that we've faired the low spots on this, we sanded it this morning, which I showed you. And now we're just resin sealing any of the exposed wood. We just rolled epoxy over this whole thing, both sides. And we're strip planking the final casing. This is side B of board 2. So the last strip planking of these. And all we have to do is glass and put them together and such. And so we're moving along nicely on these. It is a bit warm. It's not too warm to do epoxy, but it's going to set up kind of fast. So we're in a bit of a hurry to make sure that we get this done. And we decided to split it into 2 sides because we didn't want to mix too much epoxy. We're starting with the bigger side, this one. Oh, that's not going to stay. Just come down here, I think. Anyway, we're starting with the larger of the 2 because it's only going to get warmer as we go, so do the bigger one first. It's 7 glue strip sides instead of 4 on the second one. That worked out as far as the amount. All right, we're on to the second section. I just said to Brian, I thought of something very exciting to me. This is the last strip planking that we have to do on the entire boat. This is it. When we get this strip planked, this side B of Daggerboard 2 casing, there's no more strip planking. And strip planking has taken a huge amount of the time in building this boat. Remember that we spent, I don't know, 8 months working on the strip planking of the hulls. That was a huge job. And this isn't so bad, but it's still, I'll be glad to be done now. No more strip planking. Strip planking complete. Still put a cap on it and fix the ends, but the laying down of all the strips together, all done. And I'm happy to be done with that. It's good to be done with anything. I mentioned that we're going to soon have a list of everything left on the boat, start checking them off. This is actually on the list I started creating, so right away we'll get to check strip planking casings complete. Job 1 of the next year to get done. We'll get there.
It's Big Crew Saturday, so we're going to get started here with putting the bridge over the 2 pieces of strip planking that we accomplished yesterday. And we've got Jeff here to help Brian and I.
Okay, so what you need to do is put just like this right here. Mm-hmm. You want to go down these 2 sides of this board all the way down. Hey, Terry. Yep. And now do the same thing, Jeff.
Mine.
Same thing on the tops of these 2 all the way down. Well,
Oh, here and here.
yeah, but
Okay.
only to here.
Only to there.
And then put a little across this board right here.
Okay.
So you're going to actually go to where I might just put that mark, and then across this board as well. Hey, good morning. How you doing?
Like this?
I don't think I could get the 3 in there.
I'll be available in about 5 minutes here. Hang on a second. Let's get this out of your way. So I'll take that clamp off right there, that big one. I was just holding it temporarily until I get this on here. All right, now line this board up at the end. All right, set, glue.
You've seen Terry over here at the lot, but he brought his brother along today. What they're doing for us is they're heading out to purchase some marine plywood that we're going to be using for various parts of the cupboards and some of the fuel and water tank lids.
Well, we're doing part B. Last Saturday, if you'll remember, we tabbed in this whole cabin area, but we ran out of epoxy time because it got too warm. So we didn't get the the sail storage area where Jeff is right here done. So we're doing that this Saturday right now. So we've just sanded it, and Jeff's again in cleaning up the surfaces right now, and Brian's over mixing thickened, and we're gonna get all of this tabbing done. And it's again a colossal number of tabs, more than you would think for just the sail locker, but that's the way it is. So lots of work to go.
Well, about 2 hours later, we finished tabbing all of that sail storage area. And then we moved up here to the salon, where we're going to have Jeff do some sanding of the tops of the mullions, while Brian and I pull some peel ply on some stuff for the galley cupboards.
Step into my office. So I've got my laptop so that I can look at the plans right here. Well, from what I can see here, there's just 6 pieces. I counted 5, but there's one more shelf above the refrigerator that I didn't count. So there's 6 pieces. I'll have to go take a look for those. So do these 2, and we'll take pieces up there and work it out, but I think these 2 are definitely in use. Probably this one as well. These are the 4 that we really want to test with. The one you're doing right now, the big one, and then these 3.
So that's as far as we got on the galley cupboards, but we will continue working on those next week. As far as the daggerboard casings go, we did it. Finished all the strip planking on that, and that means we're done, thank goodness, with all strip planking anywhere on this boat.
And the single most difficult task in this entire boat was building the forebeam and strip planking that. And the second biggest task, well, I shouldn't say biggest, the second most difficult task, I would say, would be the hulls, and that was all strip planking. And now this is the end of strip planking, so that's very exciting.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got other things done this week, of course, too. We did a lot of work up in the salon besides those, so a lot of sanding and some painting and such, and that's coming along really well, and we'll be getting paint on the whole thing in that pretty soon. But speaking of things we're going to accomplish, I did promise that we would show you the list that we made of 100 things left to finish up SV Lynx and get her in the water. And we want to get that done in the next 12 months. So we have this broken up by areas of the boat. So things that we have to do in the bow and that kind of thing. So here's all the headings that we have.
Yeah, and these are in no particular order, and we're going to work on them in, whenever we get to them. Some of them will be done simultaneously. So here's just that list, as he said, by section of the boat. So we have the bow, forward cabins, mid-hull, salon, rear cabins, helm, cockpit, stern, and boat exterior.
Right, and this list isn't, like she said, not in any order, not just by category, but even the items. And we will do these things because we'll start working on one, we'll have to let something set up so we go work on another one, and then each of these things get done at various times. We have no idea which ones we're going to work on in what order or how long at any moment. But once one is done, no matter how long, many days are involved with it, we'll check it off the list and get this list slowly completed. So what that really means is right off the bat, we're not going to check off a lot of things because we're working on several simultaneous tasks But eventually we start checking off a whole bunch because they'll all get done. And you've been seeing the list scrolling over there on my left. By the Admiral over here. And it's a long list. But like I said, we're going to be doing these simultaneously. And the other thing is that I did assign how long I thought it would take to do this thing. And I'm not showing that here, but it was such a difficult thing. I had to use a Gantt chart to do this because things are overlapping like crazy. But since I don't know what order we're going to do them in necessarily, it was almost impossible to do that. But I did discern one thing. There's no way Brian and I are going to get that thing done in the next 12 months. And you go, but you said you're going to get it done in the next 12 months. Yeah, it's going to take help. And we're going to get help in. And so the Admiral's on the mend. So we'll get her over there and she'll put in some time. And we've got other people who are going to come in and help us. And with the help of our extra crew, we can achieve this within the next 12 months or so, we hope. We're going to give it our best effort. You can bet on that. So thank you all for watching this week. We do appreciate you coming by and watching our videos.
Yes, and thank you to our patrons listed here. We appreciate both patrons and everybody else that watches on a weekly basis. We couldn't do this without all of you guys.
Yes, thank you again. And we'll see you next week. And we're done with strip planking, but we're not done with those casings. So there's a bunch of basalt work to do on them and other things as well. But at least the strip planking portion is completed.
And
see you next week.
No, hang on a second.
All right, not so fast.
As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and click on the bell icon for next week's video.
Because it helps us, even if I tried to forget it.
All right. Now.
We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
For a lot more boat work.
Bye.